Okay, so before we get into anything today, I need to confess something. This show started as Salud SA, and then it became Wellness with Anastasia last year. And now I think I might want to go back to Salud SA, which probably means I'm having a mild identity crisis, or maybe a big one, or maybe I'm just evolving. Maybe I just really like saying salud. You see, when I first started this show in October of 2021, I didn't know what it was going to become. I just knew that I loved wellness and I loved highlighting people in San Antonio who were doing meaningful healing work. And I love the word salud. It felt playful, it felt warm, it felt like cheers, but cheers to your health, cheers to your vitality, cheers to being alive. But then I was told that it wasn't very searchable and it's pretty regional and people outside of San Antonio don't know what SA means. And some people don't even know what salud means unless they speak Spanish. And here's the funny part, I'm not even fluent in Spanish, like at all. I just love the word and I love what it represents. So in case you don't know, salud means health in Spanish, and it's commonly used as a toast akin to saying cheers in English. And according to Google, it encapsulates a communal spirit, especially during social gatherings and celebrations. So to me, Salud SA is like a toast to the health and vitality of this beautiful city that we call home. And after almost 5 years of doing this show and interviewing healers, artists, musicians, activists, poets, gym and spa and sauna owners, tea makers, energy workers, and I could go on, I'm realizing something, that the name matters, but the heart matters more. And the heart of the show has always been the same. So over the last 5 years, I sat down with more than 25 practitioners across San Antonio, and we've talked about everything from heat therapy, breath work, acupuncture, sound healing, poetry, plant medicine, nervous system regulation, to ancestral healing. And what I want to do today is reflect and share some of the most interesting things I've learned from my guests over the years. So in the next few episodes, I'll be featuring highlights from the past 4.5 years of Salud SA. In this episode, I chose a few interviews that focused on the physical body and non-traditional ways that we can keep it in tip-top shape. On my very first episode in October of 2021, I interviewed Heather O'Neill, the owner of Sweat Equity, San Antonio's premier full-spectrum infrared sauna studio. If you've ever used a traditional sauna before, you know they're hot, like really hot. But infrared saunas work a little bit differently. Instead of heating the air around you, the infrared light actually penetrates the body, warming you from the inside out. When I filmed this episode, I had been using the saunas at Sweat Equity for about 3 weeks, and I honestly noticed some pretty big changes. My joints felt looser, and I wasn't as stiff, and one of the biggest surprises was I was sleeping much better. Another unexpected benefit was a mental boost. Every time I stepped out of the sauna, I felt refreshed, energized, and honestly, the world outside seemed just a little brighter. When I looked into what might be happening, I learned that infrared sauna therapy may help support the production of some of our brain's natural mood-boosting chemicals like dopamine, serotonin, and norepinephrine. And something else I loved about the experience was how present it makes you feel. When you're sitting in a warm sauna, actually a hot sauna, and you're listening to meditative music, you can't really check your phone or run around and do different things. You just sit and you just breathe and you just are. And in a way, that becomes a kind of meditation. Let's take a look at a piece of my conversation with Heather, where she explains how infrared saunas are different from traditional saunas. It's pretty fascinating.
Well, honestly, they're really not even in the same category because a regular sauna that uses hot coals to heat it will get up to about 180 degrees. So the air is very dry. Most people, they can tolerate 10 to 15 minutes in a dry sauna. The whole idea behind a regular traditional sauna is that the air around you is so hot that it's going to then heat your body internally, okay? So you're gonna detox about 4 to 7% of your toxic load in a regular sauna versus an infrared sauna, specifically full spectrum infrared. A full spectrum infrared is near, mid, and far infrared. And I can kind of break that down in a second, but you're going to detox about 28 to 30% of your toxic load. So for all of you out there that like to get really geeky, which that's my favorite thing. So far infrared is going to penetrate deepest into the tissues to create a vibration within the water molecules of your cells to release all the nasty, and up to 3 inches into your tissue. So if you have full spectrum, specifically far infrared around you, which you do in all of the modalities, going in 3 inches is pretty significant into your tissue. Is. And then the near and the mid infrared is what is going to help to heat your body internally. Okay, so it does get warm in the sauna, right? It does get warm, but it's not nearly as warm as a regular traditional dry sauna. It doesn't get to 180. It doesn't need to get to 180 degrees.
Yeah.
You reap all of the benefits of full spectrum infrared at a baseline of 120 degrees. And a lot of people don't know that. They're like, they think more is better, right? To just hit that 158, max it out. But that's not necessarily the case. You don't need to. So I tell people, you're going to find your magic number. Mine's 145. I like it there.
Yeah.
And so, but the benefits with the near infrared, a lot of people don't know this, is that near infrared is very beneficial for the external part of your skin. So, so when you look at people who have like skin inflammation, acne, psoriasis, even, scars, wounds that didn't heal correctly, that is going to help create or help to facilitate photomodulation, which is the regeneration of your skin cells.
Oh, that's awesome.
So you get beauty benefits, you get there's so many benefits.
Yeah, and so how is that then different? Because I know in one of the saunas, there is an actual red light feature.
Yes.
How do those differ?
So a red light therapy, ours is the red light therapy tower, and red light is a specific wavelength of near infrared, but it's very specific to what we were just talking about, to photomodulation.
Yeah.
So while photomodulation is going to be more noticed on the surface of the skin, right? But it can also, that red light is also able to penetrate a little bit deeper. So if you have any kind of issues going on that relate to like chronic illness and chronic disease, it's going to help to regenerate those cells to function better, to function more properly.
Nice. Maybe I can get my husband on board because he doesn't like the bright red light. He says,
well, we've got the goggles just in case, and you can wear your sunglasses if you don't want to wear the goggles. But and you don't have to have that red light tower on the whole time.
Yeah.
You can start with like 5 minutes, and then see. It's not a matter of like see how you feel. It's more of just like, okay, I can do another 5 minutes, and I can tolerate the red light. It's just about getting used to it. It's not a tanning booth. Everybody thinks it's like tanning. Nothing to do with that. No UVs at all. So, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, because I remember you telling me about the red light feature, and Sophia at the studio also told me about it. And I have a device that I use at home on my face, and it's a red light device. And I said, this is really good for your skin, I think. Like, I just stand in front of it.
Yes,
like put my face in front of it.
Yes, and well, the great thing about that tower too is it projects in 360. So you can sit right in front of it, and it's going to project. It's not going to be able to get your back, but you can always turn around and then be able to get, your whole body into it. but it is definitely a nice little perk that most saunas don't have.
Yeah, I agree. Awesome. Well, if you're just now tuning in, I'm talking to Heather O'Neill, and she is the owner of Sweat Equity. It's an infrared sauna studio, and we're just talking about the benefits of using an infrared sauna. Now, if infrared saunas are one way to support the body's natural healing process, the next place we're visiting takes that idea and turns it into an entire wellness playground. I'm talking about Evolve Human Optimization Labs, owned by Jeremy Jacob. Jeremy actually appeared on the show once before, but in this episode, we talked about his newest venture, a facility dedicated to what's often been called biohacking, or using technology and science to help the body recover, perform, and function at its highest level. And when I say that this place has everything, I mean it has everything. At Evolve, you can explore more than 20 different healing modalities under one roof. And we talked about things like contrast therapy, Norwegian and infrared saunas, cold plunges, compression and cryocompression for muscle recovery, red light therapy, vibration therapy, cognitive and neurotraining tools for the brain, and one of the most fascinating devices that I've ever seen, which is something called the Pandora Star. And the Pandora Star is a light-based meditation machine that can help people enter a very deep trance state. And you sit comfortably with your eyes closed while the device creates patterns of light that synchronize with the brain. And when you pair that with music or guided meditation, it can become a really powerful tool for relaxation, focus, and altered states of consciousness. And what I love about Evolve is that it feels like an experimenter space. You don't have to commit to just one thing. You can come in, try different technologies, see what works for your body, and explore new ways to support your health. And the amazing part is that this type of facility is really rare. When we filmed this episode, Jeremy shared that Evolve might actually be the first place of its kind in Texas, and possibly even the United States, and with so many modalities in one location. So if you've ever been curious about the world of biohacking or cutting-edge wellness technologies, you definitely want to check out this conversation. So let's take a look at a clip from my interview with Jeremy, where he explains what contrast therapy is and the various types that are available at Evolve.
And then when you go from there to a heat source, a sauna or a warm pool, you're gonna kind of trick the body a little bit. So in the cold tank, all the blood is gonna rush to your core to protect your organs, gonna rush out of your limbs. Then you go back into the heat and it's gonna flood back out. And a lot of times you can feel that. It's a really amazing feeling. And it's kind of like a mini workout for your cardiovascular system, because you got the vasoconstriction, vasodilation. So that's kind of what we're shooting for.
It seems like it would be good for your circulation too. I don't know if it is, but
yeah, absolutely.
Great. Okay, and so then you've got all kinds of stuff here. I love it. Now, I've done compression before. I love when I was pregnant, compression socks. I love to feel the compression on my legs. Is there anything, well, just tell me about the benefits of compression.
Yeah, so we've got multiple types of compression sleeves. A lot of places will just have the Normatec leg compression. We've got those. We've got different sizes for the shorter folks like me. The boots aren't like oversized. So we've got that. We've got one for the hips, which is actually my favorite, because you get the glutes and and the quads. So great after a heavy workout where you're doing a lot of squats. And then we even have the arm ones, which look really funny because they're just kind of holding you like this. We've got some just for calves. We also have cryocompression, which is more joint specific. So say if you've got an inflamed elbow, knee, ankle, we've got a system that can keep that entire joint cold over extended periods of time with light compression. So, we don't do physical therapy and we're not treating, sprains and things like that, but you've got something that's that's kind of bothering you, like especially a knee, elbow, shoulder, lower back, we've got some things for that.
Oh, that's awesome. My elbow, I was like, am I developing tennis elbow or something? But I think it was from picking up the baby.
Yeah.
I'm not used to, and this just tells you how weak I am, right? He probably weighs like 12 pounds, but I'm not used to picking him up, and I tend to hold him on the left. And I started, I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, my elbow hurt so bad, and I could feel it like through my forearm. And then, it got a little bit better, and I did put a little compression band on that seemed to help, but that sounds like it might do the trick.
We'll see what we can do.
Very cool. Okay, so then let's get into some of the things that people may not know as much about. So let's see, the cognitive neurotraining. So you've got places where you can meditate in here. You've got Pandora Star, which I'm really excited to talk about, Brain Tap, and Reflection. So what are these different modalities? What are they good for?
Yeah, my theory is, if you're talking about an athlete, we can do things to help with muscle recovery so that they can get back and train quicker or harder. But I think, on the athlete side, training the mind and the nervous system, that's where you get into that higher level. You'll see these kind of devices in a professional sports team locker room, especially the Reflection. Formula One drivers use it. We're the only facility in San Antonio that has that device. I think it's really fun, and I've used it. The cool thing is the one that we use for neuro and cognitive has everything from memory training to eye-hand coordination, decision making. It'll have programs that intentionally stress you out and you have to make decisions. So I really like that for young athletes where they have to, if you're not on the court or the field, how do you train that decision making under stress? That's a really hard thing to train. So we're able to do that. And we're not a sports training facility. The cool thing is we have gyms and trainers that send their clients to us. But also for folks, we've even used that device for someone that's had a stroke and they need to work on, say their right or left side, being really accurate to a specific point. We can do that. And then Brain Tap and Pandora Star are both things that use stimulus to help lower your brainwave patterns typically and draw you into a more relaxed meditative state.
Now, the last practitioner we're highlighting today takes a slightly different approach to supporting the body. Instead of machines, technology, or heat therapy, she works with something much more simple and incredibly powerful: movement, breath, and mindfulness. I'm talking about Joanna Hernandez, the founder of Connect to Flow Yoga. Joanna is a certified yoga and mindfulness teacher who specializes in bringing yoga not only to adults, but also to children. And that's what makes her work especially unique, because she teaches kids as young as toddlers all the way through high school how to connect with their bodies, their breath, and their emotions. Now, most of us have heard about the benefits of yoga and meditation for adults, but we don't always think about how powerful these practices can be for kids. Through playful movement, breathing exercises, and mindfulness activities, Joanna helps children develop body awareness, emotional regulation, focus and calm, and a deeper connection with themselves. And the best part is that she makes it fun. When you watch her classes, you'll see kids moving, playing, laughing, and learning how to use their breath and body as tools to feel more balanced and confident. Let's take a look at a clip from my interview with Joanna from Connect to Flow Yoga, where she explains the difference between traditional yoga and yoga for kids, and then shows us what yoga for kids actually looks like. We have our traditional sun salutation, which many of you may be familiar with, a standard yoga flow. But for kids, especially when you're talking about 1.5-year-olds, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's not too far away from me, what do you do to engage them? Because I know, it's a little more challenging to engage kids. You've got to be more playful, more fun, more energized.
And then most of the time, sometimes we think oh, it's easy, but you have to really get out of our comfort zone or maybe just like a connection back, like when, hey, give yourself permission to be silly. Give yourself permission just to like, you know what, I don't care who's watching, and you know, but the kids are gonna enjoy it. Like, you know, that they're gonna, and you know, like saying like, I guess like, you know, if you're ready and you know, clap your hands, and you know, just anything like just a tune, and then you notice like the redirection, like the music, like musical. I call it a musical. They like bring their little heads around, and they're like, oh, they start like moving, and then, and even like, oh, let's be a butterfly, and even like when you want the kids to like come to like, let's pretend we're little mice, and they're like, and then I go, here, let's, and then one of the things I even include, like, here, let's smell the flower. I'm like, do I smell with my mouth? Because, you know, majority we're not aware of how we breathe, and sometimes we're breathing through the mouth, like in and out, which causes more anxiety, and like, you know, you can feel it in the chest, and even you can integrate tapping, like, well, let's tap the chest, and next thing, like, I'm like, let's smell the flower through our nose, because you know, we eat with our mouth. And so we breathe in, like I'm like, and breathe out. And I go, let's blow the leaf. And let's breathe in, smell the flower. And let's blow the dandelion. Or you can say, let's smell the cake. Or if you want like the fruit, and let's make a wish and blow the candles.
And that kind of chills them out and gets them into the moment. And
then they love this prop right here. Like right here. And I usually call this my breathing ball, and like most of the time I tell the kids, like, I want you to think of a wish, think of something that you want to release, or you want to send a beautiful thought, one of your caregivers or to yourself, and then I first model it because I'm like, do I throw this? And they're like, no. And like, do I want to kick this? Or I go, this is a tool. It's a breathing tool, and it helps you get calm and relaxed. And I guess the way I model, they're like, okay. And then, so I just like, so this is, I'm going to make it big like the lungs. And then I show them the lungs here. And then they're happy lungs. And they're smiling. So here I'm just like, so let's make our lungs happy. And so like, so let's breathe in through our nose. And then gently here, let's breathe out. Let's blow it, make a wish here. And then I even tell them, like, let's do that 2 times, and then we're going to pass it to our friend. So I'm going to pass it to my friend.
So we breathe in.
And then gently breathe out.
I love that. And as you've been breathing, I've been breathing too. It's like, it's just so natural to copy and to repeat.
And they're like, oh, can I make a wish too?
Aww,
and they're like,
that's sweet. That's such a great way to start a class.
Like this is something to warm up the body. Like I tend to integrate. This is something I learned one of the trainings that I went to, and it's called like sun salutation, but it's for kids. So here, let's begin. I always share, like, let's bring your hands out, show me your thumbs. Let's put our thumbs together, and you're like, look, you're butterflies. And here you're gonna repeat after me, so you're gonna be my echo, okay? So I'm like, butterfly up and butterfly down. And then step back, plank pose, downward dog, upward dog, downward dog, upward dog, downward roof, upward ow, downward roof, upward ow. And sometimes I integrate, and here let's 3-legged dog, let's say hi, and then now let's on the other side, and then downward dog, jump forward, rag doll, butterfly up, and namaste. And then sometimes I use that namaste, sometimes, but I always share with the kids, namaste means all the beautiful things in you, and also they're all also in me and everybody else, like all these beautiful things, love, passion, like art, all that stuff. Even you're strong and you're powerful. And also one of the things I like to integrate too, like, is toe yoga, which I use pom-poms. So if you ever like to use, this is gonna use your toes, or you can leave your socks on, because sometimes we get a little bit shy with our toes. And so it helps with dexterity. So we throw pom-poms, I end up putting them in the middle of the mat. So here we're gonna pretend I have a mat here, and I put some music on, And I always share with the kids, like, here we're going to use one toe at a time. Once we get picked one toe with the pom-pom, and you bring it to your mat, and then when you get another pom-pom, you use your other foot so we can like balance. So we come up to the once the music goes, it's kind of like playing race, and we grab the pom-pom with our toes, and then we walk back to our mat and then place it there, and then we're just like going with the music. And then everybody, even the families, do this, so they're like, wow. And then even the families share, and the kids share, like, my toes feel loose now. So that helps a lot with our, just in case we have like tight, our feet feel a bit tight, or like just helps to stretch that out. So yeah, that's a lot of like games and fun and music and dancing as well, and even laughing yoga. So
that sounds amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, this is like a lot of the games I do with the families and the kids, even adults. So this is something I share with the community.
And what a workout too.
Yes.
I mean, just the up dog, down dog, up dog, down dog. I was thinking, like, I'm getting tired just watching her. And then the sounds. I love the integration of the sounds and the animals, and I can see where kids would love that. And the dexterity, feet games. I love that too, because all of that creates the connections in the body and in the mind.
Yeah, most definitely. And then some things like I also integrate for families is like even that partner yoga, group yoga, as a community yoga, and we're like saying affirmations. So while we're moving and breathing, we're also sharing kind words to each other. So sometimes we step that foot forward and we're like, yeah, I'm strong. I'm like, show me your muscles. They're like, we go like, yeah, I'm strong. And with the partners, we're like, you are strong. We are strong. And we step back, and then we always do like a community, like a little tree, and I call it like our forest, and we bring our hands and do tree pose. And this can be my tree, or this can be my tree. So I'm like, they're all beautiful trees here. And we can say here, I am kind. And we breathe in and breathe out. And then here we're just like, you are kind, we are kind. And it's just like really like just integrating in your body, and then just feeling it, how it feels in your body. And then towards the end of the practice, we we rest our bodies, and then when we get up from our resting, just like a little meditating for a minute or two. And we always like, kindness begins with me. Kindness begins with me. And then we whisper it, kindness begins with me. And then I always share like, and I'm gonna say it 2 times in our mind. And then we breathe in, breathe out, and I'm like, kiss your brain, kiss your heart, and then open your arms like wings and give yourself a hug. And then I just like, here, clap. And they're like, yay. And even like, they're like, I love it. They're like, I feel good. So
what an awesome way to close a class. And I love that. Thank you, Joanna. Thank you so much. As you can see, San Antonio has an incredible community of wellness practitioners who are finding creative and innovative ways to help people heal and recover and reconnect with their bodies. From infrared saunas to biohacking technologies to mindful movement and yoga for children, there are so many different paths to wellness. And sometimes discovering the right one can make all the difference. That's exactly why I started Salud SA, to shine a light on the people in our city who are passionate about helping others live healthier, happier lives. And as we move forward, I'm excited to keep exploring even more of these healing modalities and the inspiring people behind them. Thank you so much for watching Salud SA, and I'll see you next time as we continue searching for San Antonio's best kept wellness secrets.